going to give you the demo on the solenoid valve. These valves are at every station around the nursery. They're a really important thing to know how to use. The most important thing is we don't leave them on. We're actually dead against anyone touching or using them, but in a dripper check situation, we have someone who's quite competent in using this, because a lot of times they've been left on and it drains our water supply. Anyway, two different valves here. We've got this one. We never touch the top of the valve because the top is called a flow adjuster. The bottom part, this is the solenoid, the electrical solenoid here, but we're manually doing it. So this is a manual part here on the side. I'm just going to come up to this valve here. It's a new improved valve. So we've got the flow adjuster on the top, the electrical solenoid on the side, and nowadays they make it just with the lever action. So if I turn that lever, you might even hear it's turning on, and we've got water running. So we've got water running up there. That's a manual start. To stop it, we just flip this valve around and it turns off almost immediately. With this old sort, it might take a minute to turn off. So what I'm going to do is just give it, most important thing is it's just half a turn, one turn at the most. If you do it any more, this part gets lost. So we give it half a turn, whoop, a little bit of water, just stop the water, and now that is running our drippers. Now I just want to show you up here on the bag. I'm going to leave that running. We'll go to our first bag. We call them drippers, but they're actually a micro spray. We've got a micro spray here working really efficiently. You can see that there. We just give it a slight turn and it'll come off. Sometimes they're blocked. We stick our fingernail into that groove. There's all little grooves on these T's. And we always use the smallest one. So we put it back on the small. I'm going to face it away from the camera so I don't get wet. And we give it a nice turn on, not fully on, but fully on and back a little bit. When we push it in the ground, we're going to push it down on an angle so it faces the center of the tree or plant. We don't want it shooting out. We put it in so it's firm. If it's not firm, try it again. Extremely important that it's in. I'm going to go to the next bag because it's going to be a prime indication of one not working and slightly blocked. It's not super blocked, but it's not coming out at all like the other one. If I just give that a slight turn, we're on and working again. That's a result of high iron blocking it. So sometimes you don't have to pull it off, we just give it a slight turn. Push it back in, facing down, and that tree's getting watered well. And so forth and so forth. We're going from tree to tree. This is an example here of how not to put your spray in. It's almost shooting out of the bag. So we make sure we reset it, that it's shooting to the center of the plant. Sometimes you can put it through the handle, helps it hold in place, and then to the center of the bag. Just up high enough so we can observe it from walking past. This one's working well. I'd probably set it so it's up a little bit. That's great. So that's how we do our dripper checks, and we just keep working down our rows, and we always work in at least 2 or 3s because this water being on will drain our water supply, and if this is left on half an hour, our water supply is drained. Okay, now we've checked all our drippers. We're quite happy with the way we've got through them. There's been 3 of us go through that line. So the last thing we're going to do, the most important thing is to make sure it goes off. Alrighty, so once again, it's only open half a turn. We just give it half a turn shut, and that went off reasonably fast. Sometimes, like I said, it could take a minute to go off. So that concludes our dripper check. The drippers are different in all areas, and we must check with our supervisor in case there's any special requirements. Thanks.